Given that a rocket with mass m has an acceleration a, the change in the rocket's velocity over a time delta t is given by delta v is equal to a delta t. What is the change in the rocket's momentum? And that formula there that's given to us, I think, should look kind of familiar from either the definition of acceleration, right? Acceleration is equal to delta v over delta t, but if you multiply both sides by delta t, I think you get that. You could also maybe look at it in terms of the second kinematic formula, except that that would normally be like v is equal to v naught plus at, but if you subtract v naught on both sides and then take v minus v naught and make that a delta v, you'd basically get that same thing and change, I guess, the t to a delta t. Either way, it's kind of the same thing. Should be familiar, I think. What are we doing with this question? I don't think we're doing very much here, except we're talking about an accelerating rocket, but we want to define and be able to talk about its change in momentum in some amount of time delta t, right? So if I have like a rocket here, I'm going to try to draw something that resembles a rocket. I'm not very good at drawing rockets, I would say. So here it's like maybe thrusting its engine or whatever. And as a result, it's accelerating, right? But in a time delta t, right, there is this change of velocity that we've said is delta v is equal to a delta t. And like I said, I just want to get an expression for what change in momentum that would imply in this time delta t. I think the reasonable thing to do is to say, well, change in momentum is probably tied to this change in velocity. The rocket has a mass m, so I'm just going to say that change in momentum should be that mass times a change in velocity, and then plug in this expression that we just got. And so I think that's all we're being asked here, and I assume that this is going to be useful in the next example or two for looking at how the thrust force comes from an analysis of the momentum involved with how a rocket works.